This film is brought to you by New York Life and its dedicated agents, proud sponsors of the NFL's team highlight films. New York Life, the company you keep. Players and coaches of the National Football League, the Super Bowl is their ultimate destination. It's their justification for sacrifice and their reward for greatness. For the fans, the Super Bowl is America's winter sports spectacle. A celebration that now plays on a worldwide stage.
Bienvenidos al Super Bowl entre los gigantes de Nueva York, campeones de la Conferencia Nacional, y los Buffalo Bills, campeones de la Conferencia Americana.
El equipo 8 goles, 49ers de San Francisco, 84 de Denver. Gloria, Gammal, Higher Super Bowl, Norman, Louisiana Super Bowl in New Orleans. 60 minutes to win the World Championship, man. Don't hold nothing back. This is it. You belong here. You're the best. Let's do it.
It's showtime!
Showtime at the Super Bowl continues to create larger-than-life heroes that have become part of this nation's sports memory. This show is an anthology of those players and their highlights. The good, the bad, the funny, and the sad. The Super Bowl has them all.
Scott Norwood. He can fire the shot heard round the world now and win a Super Bowl. Respond at the 37-yard line. The Super Bowl will ride on the right foot of Norwood. Snap, spot, in the air, not the distance, in the air.
Ticket to Super Bowl I cost $7.50. The game featured a team from Missouri and a team from Wisconsin and was played in the LA Coliseum. Curiosity brought out the Beverly Hills paparazzi. But the game itself failed to sell out. The central figure in this inaugural contest was Kansas City Chief cornerback Fred Williamson, known to his admiring fans as the Hammer.
If I tell you that Boyd Dial is not going to catch a pass, it's because I believe it. If I tell you Garrett Dale is going to be spending half the game on his behind, it's because I believe it. As a matter of fact, the first fake Boyd Dial gave me, they carried him off the field after that. He caught one pass, was slanting over the middle, and I said, this is just what I'm looking for. There's a guy 6'7", 6'8", coming across on a slant end on the hammer. And I hit him with everything that I had, and they took him off the field because the shoulder was no longer normal.
Enter reserve wide receiver Max McGee, whose pregame preparation did not receive the Vince Lombardi seal of approval.
I just had to go out and see the lights on Sunset Strip, so out I went, and as you go in the bars, you meet people, and I met a couple of airline stewardess from Chicago. I definitely made breakfast the next morning with the team, and I felt pretty doggone, I didn't feel that bad, but I didn't expect to get in this football game. And when Bart threw the first touchdown pass, as the film shows, Bart got a little rush on it, threw a pretty bad pass, and it was behind me. And I said, well, I better reach back and try to break up this interception. That's when I reached back, and the ball stuck right there. I mean, just the end of the ball right there, I put it under my arm. Looked like we'd practiced it all year. So that was the first Super Bowl touchdown.
The prodigal pass catcher scored twice, and the game's most pivotal play was also its most memorable. Willie Wood's second-half interception, the catalyst for a 3-touchdown outburst that resulted in a decisive 35-10 Packer victory. Oh yes, and as for the hammer,
I had set myself up because I was the Pied Piper. The Green Bay Packers are going to get the hammer. Johnny Anderson came around, and his knee hit me right on the smack right here in the forehead, and I went down. And I was a little woozy.
The hammer! You know who got hurt? The hammer. That's the big deal, the hammer. Hey, Seth, the hammer got it!
I'm the clown of the football field now, because I'm out. They got the hammer. They said, come on, get up. And I refused to get up. I'm embarrassed. They came and dragged me off the field and dumped me on the sidelines. When he dumped me, I jumped up and I waved at my fans to let them know I was all right.
prior to Super Bowl III, New York Jet quarterback Joe Namath made even more noise on behalf of the old AFL. Said Namath, "We'll win. I guarantee it."
Coach Eubank was very upset. He was sure that what I had said earlier about the guarantee was going to fire up the Baltimore Colts. It's a very good thing that we won, because had we not won the game, I don't know where I'd be today.
Today, he's in the Hall of Fame. His reward for engineering the greatest upset in Super Bowl history. A loss made even more painful for the Baltimore Colts by quarterback Earl Morrall's famous flea flicker volley.
In the film, I'm 37 yards away from the closest guy. And why Earl didn't get there, I don't know. Whether he didn't look, didn't see me, it's hard to say. You have to go back. You have to ask him, and I don't think he wants to answer that question. He may not know the answer.
How does Morrall remember his moment of Super Bowl infamy?
Instead of looking at Jimmy Orr, who's standing wide open in the end zone and waving his hands, and I see the fullback and try to steer it to him, and it gets intercepted there. It's one of those things that I guess it just wasn't in the books for us. We were heavily favored and couldn't believe that it did happen. It's just unbelievable when you think about your careers. I'm on top of the world and also down at the bottom. And I think that's one of the things the Super Bowl is good to you. If you have a great season, if you don't win the Super Bowl, it seemed like the whole season just went down the drain.
A myth was buried and a legend was born. Yet one still must wonder, what if that flea flicker hadn't gotten all fouled up?
Here come the Redskins with 12 seconds to go in the half. Trailing 14-3.
Earl Morrall wasn't the last quarterback to have a moment of myopia become a Super Bowl turning point.
Intercepted! Jack Squire! Touchdown Raiders! Holy Toledo!
Screen pass, and they looked like they knew it was coming. I guarantee they looked like they knew that play was coming.
In a meeting earlier that season, a Joe Theismann to Joe Washington screen pass in an identical game situation caught the Raiders by surprise and set up a Redskin field goal. Raiders assistant coach Charlie Sumner remembered this strategy. In Super Bowl XVIII, he sent linebacker Jack Squirek into the game for the express purpose of shadowing Joe Washington. Squirek stayed with his man, and Theismann never saw him.
An electrifying, stunning development as Jack Squirek becomes the proud possessor of the Super Bowl XVIII touchdown.